Happy Customer Service Week. Now they tell us on everyone's face are the initials, make me feel important. MMFI. And of course, everything that you ever needed is in the hands of people. The money that you want, the business that you're doing, the lands that you want, the kind of relationships that you want, they are in the hands of people. And in South Africa, they taught me this word, Ubuntu. Ubuntu means I am because you are. In other words, we are an extension of each other. How deliberate have you been at making sure that you are cultivating the right relationship with your door openers? Because the people around you are door openers. All those opportunities that you ever needed, they are in the hands of people. They are just one connection away. They are just one relationship away. I want to believe there are so many people. When they get in touch with you also, they also have the doors of opportunities opened. In other words, it's not just about receiving from them, but it's also making sure that you're also adding value to the relationships around us. I read from the good book, it is not good for man to be alone. I'm currently going through a very interesting book. I don't know whether you've managed to have a look at this. It's called Never Eat Alone by Cpa Joel. And the moment you hear about eating, sometimes eating becomes political. It's not that kind of eating that you're talking about, but you're talking about how easy has it been for you to interact with people? How easy has it been for you to share your issues with people, your pain points with people, and how easy has it been for you to offer solutions to the people around you? Never eat alone. In other words, people build people. In the world of marketing, they keep reminding us that people do business with the people they like. And in this conversation, the question is, how likable have you been? How likable has your business been? We talk about customer service for only 1 week. What if we cause this conversation to be embraced around the clock, around the year, around the hours of the day, around the minutes of the day? How about us moving this conversation from just the corporate space whereby it's happening once a year, and we cause it to happen even in our homes, cause it to happen even in our neighborhoods? So when we talk about customer, I'm looking at you being the top customer to you. Of course, we did that in that video that was called Daily Votes. If you didn't have a look at it, kindly look at it. Daily Votes. And it's entitled, Will You Vote For Me? That aspect. So the first thing is you being the top provider of quality experience to you. Now, number two, you also look at your inner core. And here we are looking at your children, for those who are blessed to have them. We are looking at your parents. We are looking at your siblings. We are looking at your spouse. We are looking at your neighbors. We are looking at the people around you. How deliberate have you been in terms of offering that delightful experience? So this is not just a conversation in the marketplace, but this is a conversation that can be extrapolated and applied in all other aspects of our lives. One of the tools that I'm going to use in this very brief conversation is the Johari window. And Johari window has got 4 quadrants or 4 windows. Now the first window, we call it the open self. This is the information about you that you know and other people know. Now the second window is the hidden self. This is information that you know about yourself, but the people around you don't know. These are your secrets. They could be positive or negative. Now, number 3, we talk about the blind self. This is the information that the world knows about you, but for one reason or the other, you don't know. And finally, we look at the 4th window, which is the unknown self. You don't know that thing about you, and the world around you doesn't know. So the only person who knows most likely is God. Now let's go to the window number 1, the open self, information that you know about yourself and the world knows about you. And when we talk about the open self, I think one of the things that comes to mind is top brands, some of the top brands that we have in the world. And the moment you taste that brand, especially for soft drink or loaf, such kind of things, or salt, they have got a promise. Every brand has got a promise. And that promise is consistency. How it was yesterday and how it's going to be tomorrow and how it was 20 years ago has got a lot of similarity. In other words, that taste is the promise. That consistency is the promise. Now, they tell us that people are disappointed because of their expectations. Each one of us is supposed to know that there's an expectation that you've already built when it comes to that spouse, those children, those neighbors, those business partners, those customers. There's an expectation that they have on account of who you are and who you've been in the recent past. Your promise has been to open at 8. So the day you open at 8:30, after opening at exactly 8 for 10 years or 5 years or 3 years, somehow people are going to become disappointed. Why? Because every brand has a promise. So what is that promise that is causing people to deal with you? Now, that open self, that promise, that consistency is what keeps your doors open. That's why customers will come to you. And the moment you know your open self, the selling pointers for you, and you work on them, then it becomes very easy for you to close any sale that you ever wanted to close on earth. So, how deliberate are you about your open self? And what are you doing to make sure that you maximize on it? That people gain most from it. And you as an individual, as a business, you also gain most from it. Window number 2, we are talking about the hidden self. This is the information that you know about yourself as a company, as an individual, but the people out there don't know. Now, hidden self comes into 2 phases. There's the positive aspect and there's also the negative aspect. We start with the positive aspect. Now, anything positive about you that you know and the other people around you don't know is going to become a threat to you. It's going to become a disadvantage to you. Why? Because you have got a very good product, maybe the most superior product in the market, but unfortunately, there's no one else who knows that you have it. It's only you and your staff who know that you have that product. There's some knowledge that has come to you. There's some information that you have. There's some qualification that you have, and you're sitting in that boardroom. Everyone else knows that you're just an accountant, but they don't know that you've got that other specialty, that you've got that other knowledge. On most occasions, this is going to cause you to grumble, murmur, and complain because you're wishing that their eyes could be open to know exactly who you are. How about you making sure that that good aspect about you, that you know, the world is also in a position to know? When you come up with very good products, how about you coming up with a marketing strategy, a publicity strategy, and of course, my organization does strategy and leadership consultancy. So in case you need a strategy for that marketing, for that product, then we can set in and come up with a very good one for you that can work and take you to places. So we are talking about publicity. We are talking about you allowing people to know. And it can also be in terms of how you introduce yourself to the world. So how good have you been at introducing yourself to the world and really allowing the world to know this is who I am and these are the solutions that I have? As long as you keep it to yourself hidden, no one will ever know, and the benefits associated with that strength will never be tasted by you. Number B, we're talking about the negative aspect about you. As an organization, as an individual, there could be those areas that you're struggling with. It could be an aspect of culture in the organization. When we are training organizations on culture, we always start by saying that culture is to an organization what character is to an individual. And so anytime that you talk about culture, I'm looking at character plus character plus character plus character. They tell us that a chain is as strong as the weakest link. So could it be that there's an aspect of us, a weakness, that is hidden from the market, that is hidden from the customer, but we who are in the organization, we know that this is a weakness that we are dealing with. When they do SWOT analysis, we always say that if you don't deal with your weaknesses, eventually they're going to become a threat. Wahenga wakasema mficha uchi hazai. So as an organization, how deliberate have you been at working at that hidden aspect of your weakness in order for you to convert it to a strength? Now, the moment you identify your hidden weakness, label it as an enemy. It could be an addiction. It could be something that is causing you not to be as consistent as the world expects you to be. How about you coming up with a game plan of dealing with that enemy until it falls down? Don't give up the fight. At the personal level, at the corporate level, we say that there are 4 sources that you're going to get everything that you ever needed on earth. And that's why I wrote the book, Go for Gold, the emotional intelligence book, The Art of Asking Right. Everything you'll ever need on earth will come from 4 sources. The first source is you knowing yourself that this is what I need. Ask right from self. Clarify what you need. And if you can go for that solution, go for it. Now, number 2, ask right from God. There are some things that can only come from God through his miraculous working power. So ask God to deal with that hidden self, that addiction, that thing that has been pulling you down, that thing that has been dealing a blow to your organization. You've done everything, but somehow there's that thing that is always pulling you down. Ask right from God. Number 3, ask right from the people around you. Ubuntu, we are surrounded with solutions. Number 4, ask right from nature. They tell us that success leaves traces wherever it has been. And if you do what successful people do, you'll get what successful people get. And it's at that point that you always say, never eat alone. Never eat alone. Never allow that hidden self to drain you. Look for help. In French, they say, au secours, someone help. Come on, shout out there. And I want to believe if you look for a person who has already a solution in that area of your weakness, they've got a strength in it, chances are high that it's going to move from a negative hidden self to a positive open self. Now, quadrant number 3 is what you call the blind self. Now, this is information that the rest of the world know about you, but you don't know. Your competitors know about you. The customers know that thing about you. But for you as an organization, you don't know. You used to be having 400 customers flocking your office, flocking your supermarket, flocking your business, making those calls in a day, in a week. But unfortunately, now you're having only 20, just a handful. Now the question is, what is not happening right? The thing that is troubling you is an interpersonal thing called the blind self. Information that you don't know, but the world out there knows. Thank you for creating time to listen to the clip. I want to believe that you've picked something that is going to help you to become a better version of yourself. Please don't keep this information to yourself. Ensure that you look for a friend. Share that video. If you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel, kindly do it today. And of course, make sure that you share with as many people as possible. God bless you, even as you continue the Ubuntu principle. We are an extension of each other. Thank you.